All right, everybody. It's, of course, TKIF Thank Kemp. It's Friday here on KEMPIREradio.com. I'm so excited to have this next artist here on the show. So respected in the R&B game. So many artists that have been here on TKIF have mentioned him as one of the people that they love to listen to. Please welcome for the very first time to KEMPIRE Radio's TKIF, Raheem DeVaughn. What's going on, Raheem?
Peace, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time out to be here on TKIF.
It's an honor, man. Thanks so much. You know, me having my own internet radio show, I like to be supportive of, all internet satellite, activities, you know what I'm saying? We are the future, you know what I'm saying, of radio and music. So it's an honor. Thank you for having me.
And I definitely want to talk to you a little bit about your online show as well. But before we jump into that, you have new music coming. And I think a lot of people may not even know that you have a new single out and a new album coming out this summer. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what direction you're going in with the music?
Oh, definitely. Well, the new single called Love Connection. We actually released it as a Valentine's Day gift to my fans. Being as though most of my people are I guess you could say the majority of the music lovers have a female audience. You know what I mean? But the brothers appreciate the music too. So we try to drop the single Love Connection as a gift on Valentine's Day. To everyone. Immediately got added in my city. Real heavy DC, all the stations. And ever since we really just been grinding it out. You know what I mean? Like our heads getting down. So everything that we do is it's pretty much me and my team ultimately. So although it feels like I'm on a major, still is this is 368 music group / Mass Appeal. Like and shout out to my management, of course, KWL, Kevin Lyles. And we just grinding, man, just working. The album drops this summer. It's called A Place Called Love Land. Love Connection is the first single. It's available on iTunes. The video is now out. We shot by Jerome D, who's the dude who does all the Kendrick Lamar videos and whatnot. So this is really his first like R&B, like soul, like look. He's done videos for some of my artists on my label, some of my hip hop artists in the past. And it's a great look, man. I wanted something that was very, clean and well lit, and makes it just feel like a movie. You know what I mean? Emotion. So we off to a great start, man.
You've been in the business for quite some time, and since over 7 years ago, you entered your first album. How has the music evolved from then till now with this new music that's coming out?
I think the music has evolved like it should. Like every record, you want to hear the growth as an artist. You want to hear the growth lyrically. You want to see the growth on stage. You know what I mean? And from a performance standpoint. People pay their hard-earned money for our product, and, you know what I'm saying, and shows in this economy. So you really got to give it to all. For me as an artist, we have to, anything that we love and stay passionate about, we have to fall in love with it again constantly. You know what I mean? Like, you got to reinvent yourself, and you got to stay in love with it, and in some cases fall back in love with it. And, I've been able to do all those things. I think that, Love Connection may be one of my biggest radio hits, like when it's all said and done, as well as all the other singles you planning to drop. Like this is my first time really having a real radio campaign, being on a major, like the climate of how it feels right now, even it wasn't how it was on a major, you know what I mean? So I'm really kind of able to put my destiny in my own hands.
And why do you think,
really just,
why do you think it's so different now as compared to before when you were with a major label?
Because with a major, they have other artists, you know what I'm saying? They have responsibilities. Their loyalty is not solely to you, you know what I'm saying? And, and majors, let's be real, let's be frank. Like they go with a safe bet. When they kind of Raheem DeVaughn, it was like a safe bet. You had to spend a lot of money to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? So with me, if I want to bet the bank, you know what I mean? I'm gonna bet on me. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day. Like, I'm going to bet on me. I'm going to bet the bank, bet on me, and I'm going to play to win, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like we've been doing this long enough. I got the right team around me that I can be advised on the moves I need to make. And, I feel like the results are going to be, phenomenal just go around, you know what I mean? And on the back end, like I really would eat. You know what I mean? Like I really would make money on an album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because you do R&B music, and R&B music, in the industry has gotten really a bad name over the last couple of years. What do you think is going on with the state of
Mm-hmm.
R&B?
I don't know. I know that it's not dead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think anything like anything when it's out there for long enough, it needs a makeover. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It goes through a transition. You know what I'm saying? Certain artists get older, they lose their love for the game. You know what I mean? Like in some cases, they make decisions based upon money and wealth and trying to stay relevant of what they think they should be doing versus what they need to be doing. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So like for me, it never was. I've never second guessed or second question as to the type of music that I want to make, the type of message that I want to put out there, the type of imaging that I want to be out there. Like you know what I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't really worry about what anybody else is doing or the bad rap. I know that when this album drops, a place called Love Land, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some of my best work to date. I'm excited about how it's going to be received and how people are going to take to it and whatnot.
Yeah. With the success of, artists like Justin Timberlake doing R&B music, why do you think an artist like Justin Timberlake is able to really do really well with doing R&B music as opposed to, other artists putting out the same type of music but not selling as well?
Justin was my label mate, you know what I'm saying, at one point, you know what I mean? Like, but, being as though he kind of came up as a kid in it, you know what I mean? I'm a student of music, so I study different artists and whatever. I know recently I spoke about him in another interview, but I think with him, he's a student of music, number one. He grew up and he came from that kind of like that Disney background,
Mm-hmm.
and then he did the boy band thing. But he always was, student of music, like fan of Michael Jackson. You can hear the influences in the music and Prince and you know what I mean. These things, same people that I kind of look up to. You know what I mean. So, I think that I think he pulled the biggest trick as far as like people probably expecting him to make this big poppy or whatever they want to call the album, and his album is very much he's white, but his album is very much like a black soul. It's soulful. It's not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the music is soulful R&B. Like what I'm saying. That's how I would categorize it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, but as authors, in our defense as artists, like we don't like to be put in a box. We don't like genres on our, placed on our music or titles placed on it.
Mm-hmm.
We just like to make the music and let people love it.
Mm-hmm. Is there
have a path.
Is there anything that we can learn though? Because he is clearly doing R&B influenced soul music. Is there anything that we can learn from like Justin Timberlake in order to bring that sort of element to other artists like yourself or Miguel or
I don't think I'll say anything we can learn. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good. Like you know what I mean? As far as like I've been very consistent in what I do, but don't get it twisted. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference between what I'm saying. Black hair, brown afro, and blonde hair, blue afro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's received different. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can give you countless examples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Chuck Berry, Elvis. You know what I'm saying? Like who you know what I mean? Who me personally, I never was an Elvis Presley fan because I feel like he was a racist. You know what I mean? But as far as like when you talk about like an artist who's like phenomenal, like a Dale that's so dope. You know what I'm saying? And then you talk about an artist like a Jill Scott, it's so dope. Like if you close your eyes, what's the difference between the two? You know what I mean? But one artist will get labeled neo soul and one artist will get labeled pop. You know what I mean? So I say that's why. And like who knows? Adele might not consider herself a pop artist. She might not want that label put on her music. You know what I mean? But it's just a thing of as artists, we make the music. We're connected to the music. Most of us, I believe, we do this because it's something we love to do and we're passionate about it. I think it's a small group of people that do it just because they just want to make some money. You know what I'm saying? And ride a Bentley and look fly. You know what I'm saying? Even if that's a story that they're telling, you know what I mean? It can just be that they're just a great storyteller. You know what I mean? But we make this lovely, you know what I'm saying? Where it gets tainted is with the corporations and, you know, that you sign your life away potentially to dictate to you what your sound should be. You know what I'm saying? Or what we're going to call down, or how many units we're going to put on the shelf because we feel like that's your sound and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing about, you know, the transition of what I've done is just, you know, being my own boss. You know what I'm saying? Being on my own label. It's a lot more work. You know what I mean? It's a lot more work. It's a lot more. But in the back end, though, it's going to be worth it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's going to definitely be worth it. You know, to call my own shots and you know, and I won't take away or be regretful any time I step at a major. You know, the job records, that situation was great for me. They gave me my first shot. You know what I mean? Like, I learned so much. I had so much fun. And a lot of the people that worked in those buildings, I'm still, like, I have personal relationships and friends with to this day. You know what I mean? But it's a business. It's a business in hindsight. Like, we make the music and somebody has to distribute it and sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes you can kind of get lost in the shuffle of that, you know. But at the end of the day, like, you know, my hat goes off to an artist like a Justin Timberlake or a Maxwell who can take off all those years and then come back and, you know what I mean? Yeah. And still keep the integrity. You know, they keep the integrity in their music. You know what I mean? Like, that's the beauty of what we do.
Definitely. What has been the biggest thing that you've learned? You know, you've been in the business almost a decade. What's been one of the biggest things that you've learned that you can add to everything that you're doing now?
I mean, one of the probably biggest lessons I learned in business is like definitely staying humble. Like the same people you see when you see on the way up, you see on the way down, you see when times is not so good. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and you know, just show love. Just show love everybody. Just show as much love as you can. You know, I hate like this. The kind of them the love, like you get it back tenfold. You know what I mean? Like and hard work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I never claim to be the best in the business or the dopest or the softest. You know, I feel like there's things out there I feel deserve. And time that, you know, to come my way. But the main thing is that you know, I will say that I'm if not the hardest working, one of the hardest working, you know what I'm saying, in my generation. You know what I mean? As far as like putting that down across the gamut though. You know, from having my own imprint and like to being a label to being an artist, you know, to being a performer on stage, to, you know, doing radio and creating a platform now for not just for myself, but for my peers, because my peers need it.
Yeah.
You know, they need it. You know what I mean? Like, for the last places people are going to get their outsourcing the music is radio and television. You know what I'm saying? The power to in it. You know what I mean? Like, I fight for spins at radio, mainstream radio every day. You know, but that's becoming the last place where people are getting their outsourcing. You know what I mean? Like, they want to jump on their smartphone, they want to jump on Twitter, they want to jump on Facebook, and they want to connect with, you know, with Raheem DeVaughn. They want to connect with your show. You know, they want to know what's new.
You know, there are a lot of people. I mean, like I said before, you've been in the game almost a decade, but there have been a lot of newcomers. Are there any artists that you have a lot of respect for that are new?
Everybody, man. I respect everybody. You got to respect the craft. Like, if they in the game, they in the game for a reason. You know what I mean? You take I'll just pull a random name out the hat, Soulja Boy. Like, people may not like his music, or they might not understand, or, you know, he's a kid or whatever. But he worked hard for his thing, man, and he did it. He used social networking at a time where it was new, it was fresh, and he caught up in the cusp of it. You know what I mean? Where he was one of the most viewed artists on YouTube and whatnot. Where he actually paid him for every time somebody went on YouTube to go watch one of his videos. So like, I love what the kids are doing, hip hop, all the way across the board though. You know what I mean? Because they get it and they're able to go into these companies, you know, as rappers or whatever, you know, and go into these companies and dictate what they want and tell them, no, I don't want your bill, and I don't need your money. And you know what I mean? And I'm Mac Miller, and I sell out. You know what I mean? I sell out the 930 Club. I'm Mac Miller. I can sell out a 2,000 seater, and I don't have any song on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and your kid likes me, but you don't understand. So you know, you can't. Man, I just, you know, I like what everybody's doing. You know what I'm saying? The Kendrick Lamar's, Miguel, both of them have been on my radio show in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as well as like the OGs in this, man. Like, let's not forget, Teddy Riley and Blackstreet and New Edition. Which was one of the first tours I ever did. They were just Velvet DeVaughn was just here a couple of weeks ago in DC and sold out a show at the Howard Theater. You know what I'm saying? So, the thing is, the goal is, to be timeless, man. That's, timeless music that is equally iconic, and it's what, what you should strive to make, regardless of what genre, whether it's hip hop, soul, R&B, pop, whatever they want to call you, like build that following with your fans, and you know what I'm saying, and they ride with you.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, before we let you go, one final question, and I'm sure you've heard this question before, but how would you like to be remembered when it's all said and done and people look back on your music and your life? How would you like to be remembered?
How I like to be remembered when it's all said and done, just exceptionally hardworking, a hustler, ambitious, a philanthropist, you know what I'm saying, a great father, and just, an icon, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, like, music, to touch different genres of music, it just wasn't accepted. It's an R&B singer, Mm-hmm. I'm on the number one jazz seller album right now. Born in James, the Make of Love album is out. This is his 13th. This is his 13th number one, but this is my first number one. Being part, of a jazz project. You know what I mean, and having the first single on the album, which is just doing phenomenal right now. So I'm chartering out and starting to branch out into other things. You know what I mean, like jazz, R&B, I got my eye on a couple of hip hop number ones. Mm-hmm. I know when I think on this album and I'm working on with Snoop Dogg, it's gonna be, they're gonna bug out. So it's
How did that connection come about?
Man, I got my bases loaded right now. How did that connection come about? I actually did a record for an artist named Nipsey Hussle, mm-hmm. A couple of years back, and Nipsey, he wound up, I guess, not using the record. And Wiz Khalifa and Snoop connected to do an album and do a film, over a year ago. And I got a call randomly from, like, Snoop's camp. Like, there's a record with you on it, and Snoop and Wiz, and we need to clear the record before we can put it out. Like, we've been tracking you down, and we have money for you, we need to pay you, mm-hmm. and we need to clear the record. I was like, what? I ain't got no record with Snoop and Wiz. So they sent me the record, and I was like, oh, okay, this shit right here. And so when they came to D.C., they were touring and supported that film and that movie, and that was the first time I had an opportunity to meet Snoop. And it was like on his birthday, I want to say, like his birthday weekend, whatever, man. It was cool, man. We just kicked it, just kicked it, man. Put one in the air, just really, I found out he was like a huge fan of my work, in particular the hip hop stuff that I had did with Ghostface Killer. Mm. So, so I was like, he was like a fan of those records, man, and so we changed numbers, man, and we've just been communicating ever since. We've been sending songs in between us, working on our albums and all of that. His transition from Snoop Dogg to Snoop Lion, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
when can we expect when can we expect the collaboration between you and Snoop?
Watching the moves. We don't have a date on it right now, man, and that's great because it's a thing where I'm gonna put out my album, he's gonna put out his, and I think that's when it's going. We're gonna really finish it up and go ahead and film. These days technology we need about anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks to shoot the movie. You know what I mean? So that's not nothing that's too tedious of doing. And something people can look forward to, man. It's so timeless of a body and work, man. It can come out now, it can come out whenever. Like, it is what it is. It's definitely something that we're doing and working towards together cohesively, our teams, and make it happen. So I'm excited about it. I never thought that was something that would happen in my career, you know what I mean? So I'll just wait and see what else, the Creator blessed me with.
Most definitely. Raheem, thank you so much for being here on TKIF. Thank Campus Friday. We are excited about the new music. The new album comes out this summer, but Love Connection is now available on iTunes, so make sure everyone goes out and support. Raheem, we hope you'll come back when the album comes out.
Oh, no doubt. Love to, man. I do in studio, man. Anytime you need to get me, I'm not hard to find. Shout out to all the listeners, all your supporters. Please go out, support me, buy my new single, Love Connection, available on iTunes. Hit me up on Twitter at Raheem _DeVaughn. That's RAHEEM _DEVAUGHN. That's also my Instagram handle. And hit me up on the Raheem DeVaughn Show on Facebook. Friend me at Facebook, the Raheem DeVaughn Show. My radio show airs every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Bliss.fm. That's BLIS.FM. And lastly, I just want to make mention of my foundation that I started, the Love Life Foundation, and I'm excited about that. Keep your eyes on my timeline, my radio show, and my shows as well to see, what I'll be doing and what I'll be supportive of with my foundation.
Dope, so dope. We'll definitely be posting everything about Raheem, the music, the foundation, the radio show, everything on our Facebook. So make sure you guys check that out, and don't forget to support the new single on iTunes, Love Connection. Thank you so much, Raheem.